Hi, let's learn about how to make pulley problems look a lot simpler. But before we start, let's look at this simple instance where I have mass 1 here, mass 2 here. I have a string connecting them. This is a multi-body problem. We're going to treat it as a unit where the two masses are considered together, and if so, then I have one mass pulling to the right and another mass pulling to the left. That means I can just write down from Newton's second law equation F2 minus F1, that's the net force. And then what are those forces moving? M1 plus M2. So that F net divided by M, that equals the acceleration. Boom, done. Super simple. So our job with pulleys is to then make them super simple. Here's a problem with a pulley here, and I'll draw this way as positive. It's got a force of M2G here, M1G here. M2 is in the positive direction, that's this one. M1G is in the negative direction, that's this one. So the acceleration equals the net force, M2G, that's in the positive direction, minus M1G in the negative direction, divided by the masses that are moving, M1 plus M2. Boom, done, super simple. What if I get another problem like this? Here's a mass sitting on a flat surface. Well, what's making this whole system move? M2G. So in this case, there's only one force that's making it move, M2G. Writing Newton's second law, the net force, M2G, acts on the two masses, and that's the acceleration. Over here, we're going to do the same thing, except we're going to add friction. Okay? So I have M2G just like before, same problem, just with friction. I have M2G pulling in the positive direction. I have the friction pulling in the negative direction. A equals the net force, which is M2G minus F over M1 plus M2. Now we can further simplify this in the fact that the other forces on M1 are M1G down, the normal force up. There's no other verticals on this, so this equals mg, m1g. So the friction equals mu n. Well, that's just mu m1g. So I can use this expression in my equation to go to the very final part. So by adding friction, it's going to slow things down, so it's in the negative direction. And then by substituting mu m1g for this friction, I get this final value over here. So pretty simple, pretty simple. Let's do a couple more. I have a ramp. The object's going to be pulled straight down by M2G. But M1 is also getting pulled down the ramp. Yes, there's a force M1G in this direction, but only part of that is pulling it down the ramp. You might remember that A equals G sine theta. That's the acceleration of a ramp, acceleration of an object down a frictionless ramp. Well, if I multiply that by M1, that's the part of gravity, the force of gravity, that's pulling the object down the ramp. So over here I have M2G pulling it in the positive direction. I have M1G sine theta in the negative direction. And acceleration equals M2G minus M1G sine theta over what's moving, M1, M2. So these look really complicated, but they do simplify. In this case, I have two angled ramps. So this one is m1g sine theta 1. This one is m2g sine theta 2. I'm drawing it on this flattened axis. So we've got the acceleration equals m2g sine theta 2 minus m1g sine theta 1 divided by m1 plus m2. Hope this was helpful.